Oh gosh, I'm gonna miss this today. I was literally trying to just adjust. I don't know. I don't know when it's supposed to go, but I was trying to adjust my hair and I figured I can't. Okay, that's not why we're here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm excited. Um, I'm excited because I'm getting feedback, not necessarily from people, right? There are pointers that I'm doing certain things right, and I'm happy. I'm happy that they're pointers. I'm happy that I see those pointers. Honestly, okay. So yeah, I'm still on Bali. I did. Was it Bali? Yeah, Bali, and I found lots of things with Bali. It's the same thing. Most people are not reporting in real time, but I saw something else. I was able to at least get a little bit close today. So I saw people were reporting like a day. So stuff had happened, but a day earlier they're reporting, and they have still not like moved on from the trauma. So yeah, I've gotten like one person who is in Bali, and we will be assisting them. I don't think I want to share the screen, because if I share the screen, it means that it has their name on it, and that erodes the purpose of the work that we do, right? Because the idea is somebody complains, the only time we ever use it is in internal communication or testimonials. But yeah, basically that's it. And even if we ever want to share out, it will be anonymously. Yeah, and then there are not lots, but I also figure that there are quite like some insensitive people in the comments too, where somebody's like, okay, so, and then okay, so there's something that is common in Bali: girls wearing bikini, and then random men just like taking videos of them. And I've seen that 5 times this morning. By the way, I've been looking at social media since like 7 a.m. So I just stopped because I was coming online. I stopped like 10 minutes ago so I could get my thoughts together. And in that same comment, there were girls who were like, "Oh, so if it was Chris M. What, or was a big shot Nollywood person, that was Hollywood person that was recording you, would you have said something otherwise?" And I just went on under that comment to say, "Silly comparison. Stop trying to invalidate what she's feeling." You know, and yeah, I guess I'm excited because what started as an idea based on field research and all of that is truly a problem. It's actually a big problem, because most of the times these strangers, tourists, end up living wherever they are in the world, wherever they've traveled to, without really complaining about this. Somebody was saying that when they wanted to withdraw, they lost like $4,000. Okay, so I'm going to stop mentioning regions, right? So that this does not look like a personal beef against a particular region, because it happens everywhere. It's just more prevalent in certain regions than the other. Uh, the other thing was many things actually. People getting robbed in villas, crazy. Different ways they're doing that. Another thing was that I saw, and I think that was terrible. And I think that doesn't make any sense. I think that is annoying. Anyway, someone I wasn't annoyed, but I think it's annoying. I couldn't find my annoyance this morning. Like, there was this particular tourist. It was not just one I saw like three. And then I saw like their body. So that's how I know that okay, this person is not lying, this person is not exaggerating things. So they were on a scooter, and then somebody from the other scooter had tried to reach out to like grab their necklace off their chest. I think that's crazy. And so again, this goes on to like show me how important the work that we do is, and how the next decade is crazy, because it would then become a fight for not just affordable travel, right? Because we've seen the rise of affordable travel, we've seen the rise of luxury travel, we're currently seeing the rise of slow and deep travel. But over the next 5 years, I feel like more and more we begin to see the rise of safe travel as economies begin to shift and certain changes begin to happen all over the world. You see that people are literally traveling to decompress, to get away from whatever it is that they are coming from, right? As the economy shifts. And so then it becomes important, and then it becomes a priority to people to not just only travel to enjoy, but to travel as a form of escape. And so, yeah, that for me kind of like validated the work that we're doing, honestly. Yeah, I'm in talk with like 2 or 3 people right now. For most of them, when it happened, they didn't report, and it was like weeks back. For some, it was months back. So obviously, I can't do anything about that. But I saw someone that it just happened to them yesterday, and they're saying they've still not recovered from the shock. So definitely, as somebody that we can help. I looked at the ambassador form that we put out yesterday and I see some registrations already. I guess that's a good thing. Okay, yeah, anyways, let's move to the next thing, which is, and then I think, okay, another thing I discovered, again, I have no personal beef against Bali. Just in case tomorrow I stand before the Ministry of Tourism and I have to defend the work that we're doing, or I have to tell them that, oh, I'm going to be needing your support to really get into this region. But it seems as if there are like lots of tourist scams in Indonesia. I might be wrong, oh, but between yesterday like evening to this morning, I must have read over 100 comments. That's how much I was consuming, right? And there are lots of things. People saying, "Oh, they rented out their apartment on Booking.com," and then people who have, what's that word? Who have paid for the apartment getting to the apartment, and then the owners of the apartment being like, "Oh, I didn't receive your booking," and all of that. And then people get advising other people to say, "Okay, just do Airbnb because Airbnb withholds my money first, and you know, then when you're here, when you've done whatever you want to do, that's when I get paid." Lots of things, temple scam. I saw one this morning was coffee plantation scam, and it began to make me question a lot of things. I became very skeptical in the sense that I began to think to myself that if I begin to go online, Google my business, like I said, it's very easy. I can just go and Google my business. Somebody can say they have 4 or 5 years of experience, and I can. So myself, I have sorted scam cases in the past. It didn't occur to me I'm going to say this on the call because again, these calls are very unscripted. Maybe if I had thought that I was going to say before coming on the live, I would have like brought the screenshots. So there are screenshots of cases that I've sorted in the past. It has nothing to do with Zago. I don't consider Zago then. I was just doing zipper marketing. And you go on a profile, a tall, prettiest profile, very nice looking, very good. It's got reviews. And there's this coming people. I would never forget. Something came to my table in a few months ago. Although I didn't solve it because I didn't have enough, they didn't give me enough evidence. They just came to me and say, "Oh, we saw this." I'm like, "Show me proof that you paid this person." But it was around $25,000 or $10,000. I think the name of the company is Springbrook Atlas, or the people that contributed money to that operator is Springbrook Atlas. And again, this is where I get annoyed. This is where I really get annoyed. You don't get to pay people because of who they show you that they are. You get to people by making your research, right? So yes, fine. This tour operator has like profile, everything going good for them. But if you go on Reddit, you see people saying they're scams. So I feel like no matter how much tourists and travelers think that, oh, I can research this myself, there's just some people you never be able to outsmart. You just need somebody that's like them that has their is it feet on the ground? I don't know. But yeah, that can tell you, okay, I've been here for long, I've been here for too long from you, than you are. When I see this, I know this is a scam and all of that. Okay, so I just digressed. My main point basically is that when I kept reading about the scams and all of that, then I became scared. No, it's not scared, skeptical. I became skeptical because I began to think to myself that what if I put a bunch of contacts online together and people are excited when they know they're going to earn something. People are excited to make a change, but it seems as though the Bali Island is now there are lots of people moving in who are not even living on the island. Like some of the guys that go on the beach to record girls wearing bikini. Most of the comments I read, they said those are outsiders. I wonder why the government has not addressed that though. And again, that's one of the things that we would do, partnering with local stakeholders. That's one of the reasons for Zago Tours. But I mean, most importantly, I began to think to myself that, am I sure that I can get the first set of enough people to get us started on social media? I mean, I can get my first five, yeah. But if I then begin to think of scale, because actually, after just answering these three tests, just like I said, answering the three tests, delivering results, and getting video reviews, we just go to selling the product direct instead of too many back and forths. And then I began to think to myself that it may eventually be that I would have to travel to some of these regions meet like the association of tour guides and all of that, and let them be the one to like introduce me to people. Anyway, when we get to that bridge, I'll cross it, I guess. All right, let me just go ahead to share my TikTok screen. I forgot my TikTok on mobile is not the same. Mm, let me see what I can do. Uh, Something went wrong. How? Okay, let me just go to where I stopped on my mobile device. I don't like using social media on my desktop. It confuses me. I know I'm supposed to be young and anyway, this is supposed to be hashtag Bali travel problem. That's the next hashtag I'm on. Hashtag Bali travel problem. And then again, I think one of the reasons why I'm saying I have to eventually just go to these places in person is because some of the problems I'm looking at, it looks as if you're not going to need local authorities' help with it. Because it's looking like people don't even know they're supposed to report. And then I hear someone saying they've reported, but they feel like the police is not taking them serious. Uh, let's see. Okay, so this is actually something that we can help with. Sorry about that, but I think this happened on August. Far too far. Okay. Over studio visa. I don't think we can help with anything around visa. There's just so much complexity. Okay, this has nothing to do with what we're looking for. Yeah, I heard this yesterday too. But the food has to be hot. Okay. Yeah, Bali Belly. I heard about that too. And then I heard that the locals find it in salty. And they said this happened like a really long time ago. Honestly, I feel like every marketplace in the travel and tourism space need to honestly just prioritize safety, quality assurance. Okay, maybe not safety because that's us, but like quality assurance. Can we please get what we pay for? And can we not just see like pictures? Like, I don't know. We just have to learn to value people honestly. And the fact that you just see pictures and you just take pictures for what they are. So annoying. I don't know. But I know if I pay for something and it's a mess, I just know I'm calling you out. Sorry. What? Um, really didn't know it was wrong. And so that's why language, culture, communication is very important in travel. I agree with that. Bali was very pretentious for me. Mm. Yeah, I have to agree with this person that right now Bali's like, oh my gosh, am I sharing my screen? It's like an over tourism problem. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't share my screen. Let's get back on it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I swear, $6,000. Oh, it's your heart. Mm. Yeah, that's it. That's like we always say. Social media is great. Like somebody can literally be robbed night and then they still come on social media looking good, looking nice, but they're still going through trauma. And I think I still mentioned this yesterday. Lots of things in the tourism industry, like they're really oversold. And one of those places that are oversold, I think, is also like Mount Everest. And some of those like high ascent summits. There are places where people should not even climb at all. But then again, I mentioned something earlier in my life, early life streams. We are at a point reached not just the over commercialization of travel, but we've also commercialization of sustainability. And it's a sad, sad reality. I think that maybe just maybe this year or the next 5 years, the next decade, will really mark the transformation of travel. I closely followed the conversation of this year, WTM. Yeah, yeah, it was WTM. And lots of people are now beginning to question the US tourism. I think that, we invest in this thing. I need to get, I need to get better. And just into policies. Like lots of people are now saying, yeah, well, like the Europeans are like, well, like one of the largest investors in the US tourism. We've seen US tourism. Oh, sorry, not US, sorry, UN tourism. Construct railways, infrastructures, airlines, and all of that. But we've not really seen tourism invest in its people because the next advancement in tourism is not necessarily going to come from infrastructures, it's going to come from the people. And that made absolute sense to me. So it seems as though we've been on a thread that we need to come out of, honestly, because yes, you're modernizing stuff, there's structures, there's infrastructure for people to move, places are more accessible, but then there's nothing happening to the people, there's nothing happening to its people, right? You would imagine that the place is suffering from over tourism, which is not good anyways. But they're having like great tourism, tourist inflow actually, economy, but how is it really impacting the local environment? The locals in that place. And that's why we've had like several campaigns this year from Spain, from especially from the European parts of the world. where locals are like, we don't want tourists again. Locals were like burning things down and the likes. I think that if there's anything, 2025 is an awakening for the travel and tourism industry to then now begin to sit down and begin to carve out the next decade of the industry and what we really want things to be like before it goes away. There's no way. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need comments like this actually because I need to prepare something. According to a report, because I was reading a report, I think it was some 2 months ago, and one of the things that could really like deter the growth of the adventure tourism industry is this the safety of income. SA 6. I feel like if this is oh, sorry, that's sad. I need that comment. I'm not going to screenshot this because I don't intend to tell the government what to do. But I can't, I don't know, I can't put that up. One of the things I have working on and man, can I say yes? Uh, let's say just move into ambassador. So after looking through everything, I think I want to prepare a presentation for like each countries we're starting with the safety ambassador, with safety ambassadors. We already spoke to you, and I can't imagine being like, okay, so there's nothing here from no lines told. Who questioning this? People show you what they want you to say. Social media is not real. And even though that some of these influencers even get paid to promote some platforms. Yeah, I learned about riding. Mhm. All right, I mean, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm just going to go ahead to use the other hashtags that I have. And, yeah, I read about this too. The money scam. So it's better to go to Bali with your cash. I mean, I feel like you cannot, I don't think you can totally eradicate scams, but you can put regulations in place that stops people from scamming people because they don't know that when there's a cost, there's a consequence, right? I guess that's basically what you can do, honestly, because thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. BST for your report.